Good morning everyone. I am Mrs. Kavita, Assistant Professor English, NPRCOLLEGE of Engineering and Technology. In Communicative English, its paper code is HS8151. Today we are going to see about the modal verbs. We shall discuss about where we should use the modal verbs. For example, why, when and how to use them. Let me discuss. Main character of modal verbs. What are the main characters we are used? For example, a special type of auxiliary verb. It is represented as a special type of auxiliary verb. They alter or complete the meaning of the main verb. They alter or complete the meaning of the main verb. They express the ideas such as capacity, possibility, obligations, permissions, prohibitions, probability, suppositions, requests, and desires. In these categories, they used to frame verbs. They also indicate the level and the formalities in the conversations. They don't take S for the third person singular. This is the main characteristics of the modal verbs. It's we can use modal verbs as an auxiliary verb. Okay, next one, main modal verbs. The main modal verbs are can, could, may, might, must, shall, will, should, ought to, and would. Can, could, may, might, must, shall, will, should, ought to, and would. These are the main modal verbs. Let me discuss one by one where you are using can. One of the most commonly used modal in English, we can express the ideas such as a capacity, permission, or request. For these categories, we will use the word can. One of the most commonly used modal in English, it can express ideas such as capacity, permission, or request. For example, let me see the examples. She can speak French. It is a capacity. She can speak French. Next one is he can come in now. He can come in now. That is permission. Can you let me your pen? Please, it is a request. In three category we can use the word can. Next, could. Could, it's express possibility, past ability as well as the suggestions and requests. For present we will use can. For the past we will use could. This is a main thing. It's express the possibility, past ability as well as the suggestion and request. Example for could: extreme rain could cause the river to flood the city. It is possibility. John could run very fast when he was younger. It is past ability. John could run very fast when he was very younger. It is past ability. Next one is may. May is used commonly is express a possibility. For example, it is a most commonly used to express possibility. It can also be used to give or ask for permission. It can also be used to give or ask permission. Examples of may: Maria may be at school or at home. May he leave the room with him. May he leave the room with him. Yes, he may leave the room with you. Yes, he may leave the room with you. These are the example. First one is possibility. Second one is asking for permission. Third one is giving permission. Next one, might. It is more commonly used to indicate a possibility. However, it can also be used to make a suggestion or request. This is a rare use through. Examples of might: you, your backup might be under the desk. Your backup might be under the desk. You might go to the bedroom during your visit. Might I open the door? Requests. It is a British standard and suggestions and possibility. These categories we are using the might. Next one is must. It can be used to talk certainties, that is something that you're almost sure it's true. However, it can be used to talk about the obligations, probations, necessity of a song recommendations. Must is used for a certain conditions. What is you must do it? For example, the teacher will order you should do it, you must do it, like that. You have to do. It can be used to talk about the certainty, that is something you are almost sure it is true. Moreover, it can be used to talk about the obligations, probations, a necessity, and a strong recommendation. She must she must be sick. She never gets late to the school. She must be sick. She never gets late to the school. It is probability. Student must pass an entrance examination to study at the school. It is a necessity. We can use must in probability and necessity. Next one, shall. It indicates a future action. It is more commonly used with the first person singular and plural. First person singular and plural, often found in suggestions, permissions, and presentations. Shall be set the table. It's a suggestions. Next, I shall never leave you outside. Promise. Next, shall she shall become our next queen. These are the categories we used shall. Next one, will. It is a simple auxiliary word we are using in a sentence. First of all, most probably the auxiliary verb will come under a request, suggestions, obligations, permissions. In this category, it will come. With the help of the auxiliary verb, we will fulfill the sentence. The sentence will be completed. For that purpose, we are using the auxiliary verb. If it is a future tense, it is more commonly used to talk about the future situations. Nonetheless, it can be also used to talk about the present when we use to make a request. It is also used in the situations in which we make the instant decisions. Next, I will call you later. It is a future actions. Will you close the window, please? It is a request. I loved that the t-shirt. I take it. It is a decision. Next one, should. This model is more commonly used to give a recommendations or advice. We can also use to talk about the obligation as well as the expectations. Shall we set the table? I shall never leave you aside. She shall become our next queen. And ought to. So another one, auxiliary verb. It is used to advise or make a recommendation. It is also express assumption, expectations, and strong probability when the context implies that something is deserved. It is used to advise or make a recommendation. It can also express the assumptions, expectations, or strong probabilities when the context implies that something is deserved. For this, we are using the ought to. She ought to stop eating red meat. It is a recommendation. Sam ought to get a promotion. Sam had to get a promotion. It is an expectation because she deserved it. Would. It is more commonly used to create a conditional verb or a tenses. In addition, it can be used to offer, request, and talk about the past habits. If if I were you, I would not do that again. If I were you, I would not I would not do that again. It is a second conditional clause. We can use in if class, we are using the second conditional clause. Would you like some cake? It is an offerings. Like that, we have the would. Okay, that's all. We have seen some of the modal verbs and some of the examples of the modern verbs. Just you can write some of the examples which you can use these types of modal verbs and try to write the example for this modal verbs. Modal verbs, main modal verbs. For example, can, could, might, must, shall, will, should, ought, and would. With this modal verbs, you try to write a sentence. Thank you, students. Thank you.